Welcome back, everybody. We're
this?
here, NDA podcast time. We're back at the end of the season because we're busy and we got shit that we're doing. But we're back. Here we are. We're in the flesh. We're here to give you guys another podcast. I'm joined by Kev and Wex. How are you fellas feeling at the end of the season?
Pretty great. We're also here by Craig because you can.
This is Craig.
Everyone can see Craig now.
This is Craig. This is our lovely assistant Craig.
Craig's down here for me.
Craig's the goat.
Craig's there for Justin's there and Kev is there. I am here.
Well, yeah, it's been a while. Good to be back. Last we talked to everyone, it was I think we had finished 3 weeks, and
it was
one week four match had been done. So yeah, I came back from Orlando, had like a bunch of weeks in the season.
I came back from Liverpool.
True. Yeah. How'd Orlando go?
I don't know if the camera's gonna focus on that, but
Orlando? I don't know. I wasn't there. You were there. You tell me.
I met Liverpool.
Pretty good. Me and Swamp met up. Had a chill time. But record wise is kinda looking like this season, I won't lie. But no, it was good fun. Nice to be part of it.
Terrestrialization has not been kind to you, Wex.
No, please bring back Dynamax. Or just have nothing at all. That's when I played my best, when there was no Dynamax.
We need Pokemon Days coming up as we're recording this. We need a
DLC.
DLC announcement with Whimsicott in it. It would appear.
Please, I need it.
please.
I don't care. I will buy the first overall pick from someone, and I will genuinely pay.
Dude, imagine terrestrializing with Whimsicott to steel type or something useful water.
Bulky Whimsicott with steel terrestrializations to sit there and click buttons even longer.
That sounds good to me.
Justin and Lexus got a little tingle in the
All I'm saying is, thank God that the webcam doesn't show below my desk. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, and it'd be a shame.
But yeah, Lex tried to take my team. We tried to take my team from San Diego that I went 6-4 with and improve upon it. And apparently we failed miserably.
Well, I was 3-2, and then I decided. Then I had one shitty read, and then after that I was knocked out. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna fuck around a bit. And they had a bit of a mix up around round 5. I think it was round 6. They had a big mix up. We were waiting for over an hour and a half on our matches. It was hell. I think in total I was there for 13 or 14 hours.
Yeah, it was a long ass day.
I don't know about yours, but ours
was awful.
Ours by the last round, everyone was just wanting to go home. It wasn't fun.
Round 1 in Orlando was supposed to start at 9 a.m. and it didn't start until I think 9:45, 9:50. And I remember when I was 2-0 sitting at one of the tables, and a homie was telling a story to his opponent a couple of spots down from me, and he was like, yeah, my round 1 opponent was 40 minutes late, but he still got there on time because the round fucking started so late. That guy must have been shitting himself. He's like, oh, I'll just take the 0-1. I get there late, play out the rest of my games. And
yeah, I'll just sleep in.
Homie fucking got there in time because the round didn't start for so long.
I wonder if he still started off 0-1.
Yeah, he did, because that guy won. He was at the guy, I was sitting with all the people that were 2-0, so clearly that guy that showed up late still lost, unfortunately. But Orlando was fun. Met a lot of friends, played some good players, went 7-3, that was hype.
Nearly bring it home.
I think if I went 8-2, I still wouldn't have top cut. I would have been one of those 8-2s that bubbled out because I don't think my resistance would have been that good. I was 3-1, and I played this kid, Chris Conway, and he won in a game, a close game 3, and so he went 4-1 and then lost 3 straight and dropped. So my resistance would have been dog from that. But yeah, Orlando was fun. Got some more CP. Came back and actually finished the NDA pretty strong after Orlando 2. I'm pretty happy with my performances recently.
Imagine finishing NDA strong, right, Wex?
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me either.
I didn't finish. I didn't start strong. I didn't finish strong. I might win my last game because we don't know where Ryder is, but I might win my last game.
There's still technically 3 games left to be played in the NDA, but we're just like not gonna talk about them. I don't think.
Now we'll say this: if Ryder doesn't respond to any of us for up until Saturday, he's gonna have to forfeit his games, and everybody he's supposed to play will get 8-0 forfeit wins.
Which means me and Justin will have to play each other in the first round.
That is true. So one of the scenarios that could have played out is if Ryder won enough games, it would push me down 1 spot, so that I would be, I think, 12th, and then I'd have to play Kevin in the first game, which would be very unfortunate for Kevin because I'd win. But we won't go there because it's probably not going to happen because Ryder is most likely, if not 1, but maybe 2 forfeits. But you could also just play and not get wins. That's also a possibility.
True.
You never know. A lot of people just want to knock off the former champs, unfortunately. But I'm in regardless. So we'll see what happens there. Who's number 12 right now? Who's on the bubble?
Jayster, who's going to be playing in Knoxville this weekend. I'm very excited to see how he does. We've been team building. So
where is that going to be live streamed at? So
do we plug the live? I don't know if we could. I don't know if we could give that free branding out to.
I mean, it's on.
If you haven't guessed, it's a Pokemon live event. If you have any guesses about it.
Probably on Twitch or YouTube.
Are we on Twitch? Twitch.tv/KMilly132.
Yeah, /KMilly132. Yeah, everyone go.
Maybe, yeah.
Everyone go follow. But Justin, you almost didn't get that guaranteed playoff spot. I was messaging Riolu and I was like, because he was like kind of sick a couple days before, and Jay hadn't heard from him, and I was like, I think he played Jay, and I was like, yo, you gonna be good to play, homie? And he's like, yeah, I should be good. I was like, all right, that's good. Justin needs you to clutch a dub for his playoff spot. He was like, I'm about to play like Michael Jordan in the flu game. And then he won 2-1 and just sent me a picture of Michael Jordan like all out of breath, sick, like after his flu game. I was like, let's fucking go.
What a homie. No, if I lost, if he lost that game, I would have been.
Well, then you'd have the 12th spot.
Yeah.
And if Ryder played his games, you could have missed, which is like crazy. So.
But so with Ryder not being around, assuming he continues to follow that trend of not being around and misses the deadline for getting his games in, that would mean that the 3 people he is supposed to play will get forfeit wins 8-0, like I said, and that would affect some of the playoff standings. So that's why we haven't continued with the season as of right now. We're giving them a little bit of time just to finish up those games. But at the conclusion of the week, Sunday, we will be dropping the scheduling and the seeding for the playoff format. We can go over the playoff format now if you want, just so we can inform our viewers what we're dealing with here.
Talk about it and flash to the live standings.
Yeah,
let's progress throughout the season. So have we talked about what we're doing for season 2 and all that? I don't know if we have. This might be like a first.
We might have on an earlier podcast, but we don't have to go into the super detail.
I want to
so
get Wex.
We can still talk about it again.
Wex, go for it.
Well, the initial plans yet to be finalized because we haven't. Did we put it to a vote? I think we probably did at some stage. You went ahead and asked.
It's all final.
Fair. Yeah. Well, the plans are to expand to a second division, NDA 2, or well, I'll just call it that for easiness sake. But I don't know what we're gonna call it. Like we're gonna probably come up with some sort of different name. But NDA 2.
Oh, wait, this just came off the dome, and it kind of pains me. But how about, because we're not really gonna have divisions with 2. Like, we're gonna have 2 leagues.
We want to name it Naranja because we lost.
No, yeah, well, I'm saying Division 1 or the first. should be Uva because they won.
Because they won. That's a shout.
So we keep Naranja Uva, but because Uva won, they stay Division 1.
Yeah,
I think that should be the prize. Because up until then, the Naranja Uva... Well, that's actually spoilers, by the way, that Uva won.
Oh, yeah, Uva
won. That should be the prize for that division, clutching up the cross-series games. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right.
Let us know what you think of it. But, so
Yeah,
our
anyway.
plans are so this season we have 12-team playoff with 6 missing out, including spoilers, myself. But that means the 6 people who missed out. So at the moment of recording, it is Griff, Ryder, me, new coach Penny, Mao, and Jerm
with us.
Yeah, exactly. But then they're like the what's it called? Sort of. Try to think of a word. Inaugural members, I guess.
Yeah.
Of the NDA 2, and they will be placed into a separate division. And meanwhile, everyone else. So the 12 playoff teams will be in NDA 1 or UVA, whatever we want to call it, for next season. And then we will. I don't have the document somewhere. It's document somewhere on my computer about our like thoughts on what we were gonna do. So it's like relegation, promotion, etc.
Yeah.
We come up with a really in-depth thing. Honestly, it's been like a few months since we did it. So
Yeah, we can like post the in-depth thing, but basically we'll have promotion and relegation each season. Like no matter where you finish in the league, you'll have something to play for in the playoffs and stuff like that. So like even if it's not playoffs for like the championship, there'll be playoffs for positioning in leagues and prizes and stuff like that. So we're just trying to create a more
incentivized.
I don't want to say intense. It's not
you're always,
intense,
it's not
more
intense, but
like,
you're always playing for something, like especially near the end of the season. Like for me, my final game against Ryder doesn't mean shit for me. Like so, I'd be playing.
If anything, you're just there to spoil his run into playoffs.
I'm there to drag Ryder down with me.
But like you kind of have to for like Jaster. Like you can't like you know, like it's still an important match for seedings if it gets played. So it's like it just feels bad. But so
we're
just wanted to create a different system, a more fresh system. It's more competitive, more fun.
So the seasons will end up being shorter. I think it's only 8 weeks instead of 9. So, but even then, if you want to make it even shorter, we can. Like whatever.
And
like,
like,
all kind of. Go ahead.
I think we started talking about off season. Like I feel like we have a lot of room to make off seasons like really creative and really fun. So I look forward to the off seasons too. So like shorter seasons with like more to play for, and then like getting right into a fun and creative off season will be like really fun and engaging for like the whole server. So because it's like 8 weeks of like a strict format with one team, I feel like that's enough. Like I feel like like it's obviously we all love Draft League, we all love the process, but like I think 8 weeks in playoffs is definitely like
it's long. It's long, like especially with the changing formats. Like how long has it been since Series 1 has been a thing? Like, and we're still using Series 1. Like it's
bro,
long.
They took it off Showdown. It's been so long.
Yeah, exactly. So so that's the plans. So
this playoffs we have the top 2 from each division receiving a bye, and then we have a live playoff race chart with mixed from both divisions of seeds 5 through 12, and they're just mixed together. So your divisions this season only really meant about who you played and who got the buys, and then now playoffs is going to be all combined, which is I think really cool.
I mean, if it is good, but I mean, for myself, it would mean that this last game means a lot, because if you would have done so just bottom 2, you just get knocked out. True. Justin would have been gone, and it would have been between. I would need to win,
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. If we did bottom 3, if we did bottom 3 from each division, Justin would not be making the playoffs.
And the worst thing is, worst thing is, it was my fucking idea to like make it so that just top 14 over top 12 overall. It was my idea. look at me looking at the consequences of my own fucking actions. But
Listen, if I was in UVA right now, I'd be sitting in fifth seed. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
And yet
I don't wanna
Uva
hear it.
won the cross division bullshit.
yeah, so
Bro, the top three coaches in Naranja have more points than the top coach in Uva. That's all I'm saying.
I think
Yeah, but
Naranja was
that's
definitely,
closest.
I think, more evenly matched. I mean, look at the 4 and 5 teams. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So just they may have won. There's an asterisk on the win as well, but Naranja was.
Yeah, but like right now we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. Like ours was very in order. But saying that, like my wins were against like who did I bet 4 and 5. Or did I bet? No, I bet 5 and 6. I bet Ballhawk. But I lost to Griffin Knight, so it is what it is. Like. So I think everyone kind of took points off each other in yours, but ours was more so down the line. If you get what I mean?
yeah, like
That's
a
what
2-0, like sort of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we can quickly run through all of the stuff that happened.
Should we go through
Yeah.
kills? That covers one of our topics, I think, the kill leaderboards.
Yeah, that's good.
One of our topics we wanted to discuss was Annihilate versus Garchomp, and then a big stupid fish at the top of the
Fucking
table.
fucking fish, man.
It's always a stupid fish, isn't it? There's always one.
Stupid fish. It's always one. Exactly.
Um,
I mean, yeah.
for-
Garchomp winning kill leader.
This has like the individual kills, right, between each coach.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
do some like for Pokemon, I mean that's like an unfair advantage to Pokemon that were drafted in both divisions, I guess.
But I mean,
Garchomp.
Garchomp still wins both. So
Oh yeah. Garchomp was Garchomp versus Annihilate coming down to it. Me and Wex having our Annihilate go strong. Wex, this is like the first time in a while that you didn't like finish top of the kill leaderboard. I feel like.
yeah, it's like the first time I have been in like top 3 or 4, and that's. I mean, I'm 5th at the moment, so like.
Yeah.
Not bad, but I did have that one season where like I had Yveltal and Metagross in top 1 and 2.
And the Arcanine.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I just want to point out.
Take a fish.
Try to find a Pokemon that I have on the kill leaderboard for me.
oof. Let's I don't know if we have time for that. This might take a while.
Yeah, honestly,
here we go.
there's none of yours are in top 30.
33 Hydreigon with a record of 11 kills versus 19 sets played. That's a oof.
I struggled so much this season to find consistency, and I just couldn't rely on anything. I really couldn't. It was hard.
Justin might have low representation in the team of the season. Very oof.
I know, and I usually have a couple that stand out like easy, but this season's been hard. Terrestrialization kind of fucked everything because
Yeah, what are your two? That's a separate topic. I want you like your genuine thoughts on our draft league and how it went with terrestrialization.
I hate it so much because one thing that your team is generally a little weak to, like mine is like fairy. Every Pokemon and their fucking mom, their aunts, their aunts, their uncles, like literally everybody has Terra Blast, Terra Fairy. Or they'll have some sort of fairy move and get it boosted.
Yeah.
Like everyone
Terra Blast picked up 49 KOs this season, second most.
I mean,
It is.
I predicted it was gonna be high.
It's so frustrating. I'd rather deal with Megas or Dynamax and shit like that. Like I'd rather deal with that because at least that's like, okay, well if they Dynamax, it doesn't change their typing, so you don't know what to hit them with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like overall, like I was telling you, Justin, I feel like in the competitive scene, terrestrialization has been taken really well, and it's been a really good mechanic. But I do think it's very much balanced out in the competitive scene by open team sheets. So without having that in Draft League to keep Draft League fun and creative, it's like really fucking hard to be consistent and build consistently for your opponent. because they could just pull out any shit at any time, and you gotta be ready for it.
Like, all right, yeah, I'll just bank on Torkoal being, fire type, and then all of a sudden, it's now a fucking water type? What? That doesn't make any sense. And then you just die. Like, fucking Terra Fairy Beartic, fuck me, I guess. Like, I didn't get that one come out of Mac's asshole, but I guess we can find anything up there. Like, I don't know. That's not a shot at Mac, by the way. I'm just being very metaphorical.
The game's the game.
Oh, fuck off. No, I mean, I don't like it. And without open team sheets, it's so hard to prepare and, like, actually, like, put decent thought process into it. Like, you can't prepare for what the other person's going to do. You just got to have a strategy. It's like, okay, well, if they Terra, I'll adjust this way and hope for the best. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I also didn't draft too well because I wasn't really,
this is like your first draft league season where you didn't really know anything coming into it.
Yeah.
I swear Justin just beat Scarlet and Violet like last week. Like so,
I still gotta get the full decks. I'm close though.
Lex, would you? You were both grinding on for it. I don't know if you finished.
I think I did, but I that's the last thing I done on the game. Like,
not to harp on your struggles this season, Lex, but would you account it to the terrestrialization and how unpredictable it is, or would you say it was just more?
I mean, yeah, like to an extent, there was like 1 or 2 games, especially at the start of the year. Like my game against Griff, I didn't know what I was doing, and like there was a few games where like my terror types were very suspect. Like I think it was.
Did you ever like forget to change them?
Yeah. There was 1 week. I think I was Terra Steel in front of someone. It was like I came back. It was like when I came back and I caught up on the game, and I have to use my phone to fucking check what week it was because I'm recording the entire screen right now. So if I'm literally trying to load it up. But I think it was like week 5 or week 6. It wasn't week 6. Week 6 is Rider for me. Who was it? Jay. No, I won that game. There's one that I lost. It was week 7.
I know Quartz did it once. He forgot to like change his villain to Ghost.
Yeah, it was against your boy. I think I was Terra Steel and Annihilate, and I was up against I was up against a Sandaconda, I was up against Sandaconda and Flamigo, and I was Terra Steel and Annihilate. Yeah.
Well, I guess in front of the Flamigo you don't. I mean, like you. No, that's a weird one because like if it clicks like Brave Bird, then Annihilate takes a fucking day. But yeah.
But overall, I think it was just a lot of the new mons that I wasn't really expecting to be as good as they were, or better than they were. Like Glamora, I expected a lot more when I picked it up, but it just wasn't great.
So
it's kind of
Glamora is like a really tough mon to use. I feel like
yeah,
people are like trying to run it because people like this is more competitive, not draft league, but Emilio Forbes, who some of our viewers may know as he's gone undefeated in both regionals in the USA this year so far, and he's had a Glamora on both teams, and I've tried to use it, and it's like it has such a middling speed stage that I feel like it's really hard to position, and there's a lot of ground types in the meta currently, I feel like, and it dies to 1 ground move if you don't like terrace. Like it's almost forced to Terra. And I feel like that's another thing. So Justin, you were talking about how fairy typing, like you just bring fairy typing against your team, because if you have a 4 times weakness in draft league, like odds are you're gonna see a lot of that fairy type all season. Like I have Snow with Obama Snow and Titan, and you know how many weeks someone Terra to fire in front of me? Almost every
yeah.
So it's like stuff like that is like really hard to use. Like you almost want to try and definitely avoid a 4 times weakness unless it's like your game plan to terrestrialize that. Like it's really tough to use. That's another struggle.
I mean, Justin kind of suffered with the Hydreigon in it because I thought Hydreigon was going to be a lot better than it was.
Hydreigon's a great Pokemon, but Justin now hates it. So it's like
I don't blame him after what he's gone through this year. Like,
you can't. It has a 4 times weakness, and everyone just runs Terra Fairy, regardless. Like I haven't done shit with that mon this entire season, but every single week, Terra Fairy, Terra Fairy, Terra Fairy, Terra Fairy, and it's like, what do I do? Just don't
Jaster
bring
had
it.
it.
Like,
Jaster had it as well. He went 14 and 15 with it, and then you had it and went 11 and 19 with it. So he didn't rely on it as much as you did each week. But
I mean, it's fair.
Arguably, Series 1, Hydreigon was like one of the most influential. Like, it was top 3 most influential Pokemon, I think, of Series 1. And then you bring it to Draft League, and it's like. But then saying that, Garchomp has that ice weakness, but it destroyed and kills.
Yeah.
I mean, Gummy drafted his whole team really well, I think, around Garchomp and supported it well, and was able to just terrestrialize it every week, I think, was like the really big thing for Gummy. And that's why, to go back to what started this whole conversation, Garchomp did win versus Annihilate and others for the kills. Dozo was close, though. I didn't expect Dozo to be that good in Draft League, or anyone to really take it, because I think rightfully, like, there was doubts about Dozo and Tatsugiri being S tier, but I think we made the
It was right decision, yeah.
Yeah, like, if you wanted that pairing, you had to draft them in S.
Yeah.
They were.
It was the best move. It was one of the best decisions we made. So.
And Quartz was like the perfect. I think Quartz was a perfect coach to pilot it in draft, because
he didn't rely.
You never know. Like, you never know what Quartz is gonna do normally, and with terrestrialization and having those two, it's like you have to prep for Dozo, like, as and Tatsugiri, the combo, but I feel like half the time Quartz played it where you didn't even have to bring them together.
Quartz just decides to never bring them. Like, that's just Quartz's like thing. Like, Quartz drafts something really obvious and then brings like fucking Saytoddle and fucking Fungus and fucking Terra Electric, and like, he'll do the fucking most random shit, but that's why we love him. That's why we love him.
All right.
I feel like we can. I mean, I have. I'm just looking at how much time I have left. I have about half an hour, 35 minutes left. So
all right, let's move through these topics then.
Let's move. But
want to bring up the first? Who wants to bring up the first one?
I mean, I'm looking at the order we have these in, and I'm gonna skip one of them and go on to my boy, the best Pokemon of all time, Spidops.
God damn it!
Wait.
So Spidops, or Spide Zero?
Just Spidops.
Just Spide Zero up.
Yeah, what's the zero for?
That was Germ's nickname for Belly Bolt. The Spide.
Was it?
I already heard Belly Bolt.
Belly Bolt's number 1.
I know. I was.
But still, I don't care. Spidops, it's the best Pokemon of all time. And for this, I might just even mute Kev, because I mean,
no.
Like, let's be honest. I can just mute him, and then we won't have anything to worry about.
Kevin for a second. Let's talk about this.
No.
So
Okay.
Spidops.
Let me contribute first, and then you guys can have your words.
Yep, that's enough contribution.
Okay. So basically, right. Spidops. look at this face. Let's focus in on him. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, let's see if it's gonna work. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's trying to speak. Look at him. Oh.
He's so confused. Oh, he's distraught. He's sad.
Oh, he's distraught. But Spidops. Oh, he's turned off his camera. He's gone.
Oh, he turned off his camera.
Let's unmute. Let's unmute.
Such a shame.
Let's unmute the kid.
Assholes.
No. Toys. But yeah, Spidops. I don't know where Spidops finished in kills overall, but the fact that it got kills is so. It's actually unreal. I love it. I'm so happy. Alright, let me try.
Spidops and 7 kills.
It's 7.
Yeah, 7.
It finished 52nd.
Oh, well, yeah. I should see it here. Jesus. Insane. 7 and 7. It got a kill on average every game. I'm impressed.
I know.
I'm not.
I'm just looking at this.
If you want a summation of Spidops, you watch Week 9 against... Who did Germ beat week 9.
You didn't. No,
Fellas,
week 8.
No, week 8. Germ versus Mal. The red card stakeout. Spide Ops. I hate Spide Ops. I think we've gathered that information. But the red card stakeout Spide Ops tech that Germ ran that week was so good. It was so good. It was like he just nuked Goldengo and Dragapult with dark moves after they switched out. And he ran Terra Ground next to Belly Bolt. So we could just parabolic charge for free. It was so good. I like I said, I hate that mon, and I have to give credit where credit's due. It was so much fun to watch.
Fellas, I won't even lie.
The true Spide Ops came out week 9, as we all know.
I won't even lie, fellas. I actually have to go now.
Oh my god!
Wow.
This is fantastic.
You said you had a half hour, bro.
I mean, my mother. I have to. Basically, I have problems with my payments for work, and I have to go on a call now with my mother and father. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in for the NDA podcast. At the moment, I can't even see
of our faces.
I can't even see at the moment. You're not even seeing Kev's face. Kev's face is just a little circle for me. But yeah, hope you enjoyed our faces. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of it.
All right.
We shall continue with our voices.
Exactly. Okay. See you guys later. Peace.
Bye, Wags. Okay. Anyway, Spide Up sucks, right, Justin?
No, Spide Ops in that game, awesome. I loved it.
Okay,
I loved
yeah.
all the stuff that you
I
brought
can
up,
admit
to be
that.
honest.
But what it wasn't Belly Bolt was the true MVP.
Belly Bolt, I mean, if you look at his team, it had 18 kills. It 18 kills. I mean, yeah. It went off.
I didn't realize it got that many kills.
Yeah.
Holy
No,
crap.
it was MVP for sure. I mean, week 4 and week 5. I mean, even week 8. I mean, Belly Bolt the movie. I mean, the movie Belly Bolt. I mean, this is like a Shrek sequel. You know what I mean? Like, this is something so sweet, so precious, so pure. You can't get this anywhere else but Draft League, sort of thing. Parabolic Charge went burr the entire time.
Yeah, so my favorite Belly Bolt tech is something that Phoenix could run because he has Oranguru. But the Trick Room Telepathy Bulldoze that Oranguru gets next to a weakness policy, Electromorphosis Belly Bolt goes fucking hard in the paint. But Germ did something a little different all season, and he has Telepathy Noivern, and like I said, Terra Ground. Like with Terrestrialization, he was able to just put a ground type next to it, and just get the charge boosts, and run like a bulkier Belly Bolt. Like it lived on like 4 and like 1. Like it kept living, like eating hits, and then with the charge boost, it would just was able to click Parabolic Charge and gain all his health back and just take names after the charge boost. Like it was so good. Something like I don't think anyone expected. Like no one expected Belly Bolt as a free agent. It only played 5 games to get 18 kills. That's nutty.
It went off the entire time that Germ had it. It was a pleasure to watch it.
Took the spotlight from Spide Ops. Unfortunate for some, but great for the rest of us.
Who's the rest of us? Who else hates Spide Ops? Like,
people hate Spide Ops. I'm convinced I'm not the only lone hater.
you are right now.
Well, yeah, right now, but that's we're speaking for a community of people right now.
I don't know. Spide Ops, I mean, while maybe not super useful in a lot of situations, if not most situations, some situations it is. Like week 8 versus Mao. It was actually,
it was heat. I fully admit to the heat that took place that week.
And it was good. It was good. It was fun to watch. It was.
I think,
strategic.
yeah, honestly, I think Germ is usually fun to watch, but especially this season, he was 100% the most. I thoroughly enjoyed watching all of his games this season. Like every time some crazy shit happened. And watching Belly Bowl put in work like that was really fun to watch. So, Jeremy, I love you. It was a great season.
We can get
another.
I
was gonna say another movie that took place. I'm gonna skip over the third one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I wish we talked about that when Wex was here, but another movie or a plague, as I named it, that took. You could talk about that took course across the season is Moody Glalie. We saw Moody. What the hell is it called? The plant thing. What the fuck's it called? Scovillain. There we go. A lot of Moody shenanigans went on this season. We saw you use it a couple times. We saw your boy use it against J-Ster in a 3-set thriller week 4. Moody kind of it fell off a little bit towards the end of the season, but kind of took the NDA by storm.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest. I'm the pioneer of that. I won't hold no.
You got a dub with it, like a big convincing dub with it, and then that week in transactions, there was like 2 Moody Mons taken off the board. I was like, bro, Justin, what did you do?
So what happened was, so week 2 and week 4, that's where we have to look at for Moody for me. And that's really the only time it really worked. I would try to pull it out against you, and we'll get into that in a little bit, and it didn't work. Because people started bringing Hayes for whatever reason, pissing me off. But Moody actually really shined because nobody was expecting Moody Glalie to actually be that much of a threat. I think week 2, game 3 or game 2. Actually it was both games where Glalie came out and just got clutch drops and raises one after another. Was able to survive with substitute protect and leftovers, and really was able to do a solid bit of damage and just carry my team.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you got a loss game 1 and then went to Glalie both times and it clutched up.
Yeah, no, that's what happened both times. Both times I was down 0-1 in the set or in the match.
It was never your direct plan. But it was there when you needed it.
It was my emergency, I'm scared, help me card. And it worked twice. So I'm not ashamed of it. I relied on Moody Glalie to get me wins and get me into the playoffs. Yes, I did that.
Glalie cut. It had 2 less kills than your Hydreigon, but low-key, just because of those wins, Glalie was MVP.
I mean, I don't know what else would be MVP on my team. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, what else would you say? Maybe I don't know.
On your you made some transactions pretty late. It changed a lot of your team. It definitely wasn't anything you had prior. I don't even remember what your other S tier was, believe it or not. That's
the other S tier was Murkrow.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, your A tiers were pretty bad, I think, and Murkrow was just kind of there clicking buttons as it does. So I would say it'd have to be Glalie for those dubs. And you had some good play with Spiritomb, Pincurch, and Clawitzer, I think for sure. But I think the highlight of it is Glalie for sure.
I would agree. I think Glalie, I mean, while limited into the sets that it was brought to, it was able to show out and putting in a lot of work, especially week 4. Week 4 is the icing on the cake. So after week 2, that's not where we saw the avalanche of people trying to pick up Moody Mons. It was after week 4 where you just saw a flood of transactions. Someone dropping this, picking up Scovillain, another person dropping this, picking up Scovillain, someone dropping this, picking up Glalie. I think it was Quartz, and then I think who else was it? Was it Bean? No.
Glalie was picked up by at the time Ballhawk, who we didn't really address. Got really busy at the end of the season and dropped, and we had a replacement coach. I don't know if he ever brought it out, but you using Glalie was enough for them to hey, I think he only had 1 transaction left or something because Ballhawk made a stupid amount of transactions between grace period and regular season. But, it added Glalie. I don't know if your boy always had Scovillain or if it was a transaction, and then Quartz added the Scovillain. So they were all picked up relatively quickly, especially after week 4.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, but listen, it happens, right? It's
I mean, you
It's
showed
just
that it was a
challenge.
win. You showed that it was a win con, and adding that onto your team as like a blanket win con is like pretty valuable. And like,
all you need to do is be in the right spot, click protect, get the right drops, and you're solid.
yeah,
Like over time, if you're able to survive, you're able to get your substitute off, your protects off, your substitutes. You're gonna get a net gain in stat boosts. So it's worth it if you're able to keep it out in the field for a very long time. But that's the thing, like you have to keep it out in the field for like 4 or 5 turns for it to actually really start to pick up steam and to be extremely useful.
Glalie got a big buff this gen because it was allowed to change from its really crappy ice type to any type it wanted. So it's like you can make it even more defensive than it would be because ice type sucks. And you were able to like after sub and protect, like I think you got a lot of kills with Glalie using Earthquake. So it's like the like getting your buffs and then clicking spread damage was like really big.
Yeah, I think the only thing that really held me back is I didn't really have a follow me mon or a redirection mon to pair with the Glalie. And if I did have that, it would have been almost unstoppable, especially if it was something that was tankier, like in a Moonkiss with Rage Powder. I think that would have been a great mon to have as a secondary mon.
So like really like that's to make Glalie like the strategy, not the blanket, like the safety blanket.
Yeah.
Like if you had support, you could have relied on Glalie even more. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that warrants it to be moved up to B tier.
Ooh, maybe just Moody. just having Moody and seeing how it did, it could get the bump up to B tier.
I think people are going to want to make the case for it, but I would also make the case that no matter what, if you're able to click Haze into it, it's kind of, it forces you to bring Haze, and as long as you can click Haze, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
the boost could go against me. I mean, and it has before. Like, I went special Glalie against you, and I had a special
I remember the turn
Haze.
1, you got the attack buff, and I was like, oh shit. But thankfully that week you were special. I wasn't able to get my Hazemon in yet, and I got the attack buff, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so I mean, if I went physical, maybe it's a different story. Maybe I do like squander out a win. I squeeze one out there, but
that actually nicely transitions us into. I was gonna hopefully talk about it while Wex was here, but I had the pleasure of versing Justin and Wex this season. And as we are the hosts, it's fun to talk about our matches together. Not only because of the results. I don't want to go over that too much, but me and Justin played week 5, the Blackwood Derby, and me and Wex had our match week 8. So relatively close. I played Justin with his old team, and I won 2-0, but it was really close, I think. Game 1 came down to I got good confusion. Like I didn't get confused on the hacks. What move did you click to confuse me?
I think it was Water Pulse.
I got Water Pulse. Well, that was unlucky to get fucking Water Pulse confused, and then I snapped through.
You crit me, and it mattered. So,
dude, and I think I was belly drum set up right. So like, if I got hit in my confusion, I was.
You would have killed yourself. I would have won. I would have won game 1 if you hit yourself once. But you got a turn of confusion, and you ice sharded through it.
Yeah, and then belly drum ice shard did like 40 to 50% to a Terrafire High Dragon. That was very scary times if that didn't kill.
It did 41. I think.
So, it was really close. I don't even remember what happened game 2. Like that game 1 is just like stuck in my. I think I just went Mouthhold Annihilate and dropped the belly drum strats. I don't really remember, and I think I brought
you did. You did.
And I knew you would. Yeah, I knew you would adjusted the Glalie, so I brought Altaria in the back with Haze. Yeah, that was what happened. So me and I think it was a really good set. I hate this. This sounds like really cocky, but like at that time, Justin was still adjusting to draft with terrestrialization and everything. Still kind of is, but I expected to win because I had been playing a lot.
Only week 7. I mean, we're only 2 weeks out of that.
Yeah, I know. It was week 5. So
no, we played week 7.
No, look at it. We played week 5, homie.
Was it week 5?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, we were both like having we both had like middling records. I'd already had 2 losses. I think we both had the same record, so
We're both sitting at 2-2.
yeah. So, but it was a really good match. And then week 8, me and Wex played each other. So Wex was in the other division, and we rolled. Like, obviously, you only play one person from the other division, so Justin and Wex didn't get a chance to play. But the schedule rolled me and Wex matching up, which was really exciting. And we already talked about Wex's struggle this season. And I mean, I expected, I don't know, him to try really hard against me, but as we all know, Wex is a busy man, and I think he built his team in like 20 minutes, and it didn't go too well for him. The Annihilate Mirror was fun, though. It was kind of mind gamesy. Like what Terra types we were, and if we went for like what kind of setup. Wait. Sorry, I got a ping that I have to read. But what's it called? Yeah, I mean, I had a great time playing Wex. I don't know if he could say the same, but it was a kind of annoying to prep for just because the Annihilate Fungus Mirror, and like Pirate, like we had a lot of the same mons. And Murkrow and his I had to I think I had a plan in mind, and then he added the Glamora Palm mod pretty late, and I had to adjust and stuff like that. But I did pull the double over my fellow podcast coaches this season, and thankfully Justin still made the playoffs. It feels bad getting wins over the podcast host and then not making the playoffs, but I did directly have an effect on Wex not making the playoffs, unfortunately. I hate to see it.
I mean, there's a league still makes playoffs, so it's like odds are you're probably not knocking someone out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like late in the season is more influential, but obviously Wex had other chances. Like, I'm not solely responsible. So, but yeah.
I think we can move on from that.
Let's pick. One thing I wanted to talk about that isn't here, is it was kind of early in the season where it had a huge effect, but kind of on the moody stuff that just was really annoying. Yeah. That's kind of funny that you brought that up. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Revival Blessing, in the Lepaberry text and stuff like that, was a really new niche mechanic. I remember pretty early your boy used the Lepaberry. I think he actually lost the one game where he really relied on it. I'm pretty sure early in the season he played Phoenix, and Phoenix had to kill 6 or 7. He had to kill so many fucking things and still ended up winning.
He killed them on 6 times. Okay.
Yeah.
He still won. He still won, but I mean the Revival Blessing saved. I mean not saved, but I guess it kind of hurts because he still lost. So it's but
it does take a turn to set up, where you're maybe losing some momentum, but you're really not. You're gaining another 50% health mon in the back. It's really crazy. Never.
I wonder how it works with Regenerator.
Thankfully, if you revived an Amoonguss, it would go to 50% health, and if you brought it back out and still had something in the back, you could switch out and get more health. Or if you had I've seen.
So if you just put it back in from the 50, it wouldn't be at 75 or whatever.
No. I've seen people on there's actually competitive teams that run Dozo Tatsugiri and then run Palmot. And if they revive the Dozo, they can bring Dozo back in if they conserve their Tatsugiri, and then click rest or leftovers and get their not click leftovers, but get their leftovers health and get all the way back up to 100 and shit like that. It's fucking stupid. But it's a really niche tech that has been really kind of annoying to play with. You really have to prep. I don't even know if you can prep for it. You kind of just have to play, I think, kind of defensive and make sure you have bulk to survive these long games where you have to kill more than the 4 Pokemon that you were supposed to kill in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one other thing I wanted to talk about after moody stuff. But speaking of a coach that ran it, another thing we wanted to talk about was we just want to give like a highlight and shout out the dominance that Swamp and your boy, two coaches, like portrayed this season. They finished with the 2 highest records, one in each division. Swamp almost went undefeated, but he choked, which we can talk about at the end of this. But I would like to ask you, Justin, what do you think? It was just like them being good players? I mean, obviously them being good players helps, but I mean, I think arguably Swamp had maybe the best draft and one of the more toxic teams in the league that definitely helped him kind of sweep the Naranja division for sure.
I can jump in on this because I know Swamp was talking about before we even started drafting how they were going into ladder and playing in different, I think maybe tournaments, but I know definitely going into ladder and really like experimenting and seeing different things that were popular, what was really good, what was not so good. So they had a lot of experience coming into the draft itself. So that's why you see Swamp with NDA Armarug. Like, I would not have decided to go that route because I didn't even know Armarug existed. I didn't know what it did. Same with like Kilowatts from Uncle Quavo. Like I don't know. Like I just wasn't really savvy to it. So that's just kind of the thing that like happens when you get a little bit of pre-draft insight. But unfortunately, I did not. Same thing with your boy. I mean, I don't know to what extent they were going into, ladder and testing things out, but they also drafted a very, very good team. Anything with Dragapult usually can end up being very, very successful. Pair the next to an Indeedee.
I remember analyzing the teams coming into it and not understanding what your boy's team was. Like I didn't understand the synergies at all, but like.
Oh no, like Moody Scovillain next to a Flamigo. I mean, that's pretty strong.
That was heat. I mean, he picked up the Scovillain though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just goes hand in hand. Same with the Phalanx though. That's like you get the no retreat off, and then you switch into Flamigo. Well, now you have ×2 everything, like Omni Boost. So, it's really good. And just Indeedee just being strong.
Yeah, if we could look at both teams, they both have Indeedee female, and both have Zoroark. Zoroark was like oddly something that I didn't predict coming into this, but like in this format was like really fucking annoying to deal with. Like Illusion's always annoying, but like it, along with all the confusion already going on with Terrestrialization Draft League, I think Zoroark made it even like more confusing and more annoying to deal with. And it actually like took a lot of kills and just like you never knew what you were exactly. I remember when I played Swamp, motherfucker, I thought it was like a different Pokemon or something, and it ended up being Rocky Helmet Zoroark, and it fucking almost killed my Mousehold after a population bomb. It's like I hate losing to shit like that because it's like, how do you prep for that? Like at the end of the day, what the hell do you do to stop? Like I guess you just have to give credit where like credit's due. It's just like is that something I should lose to normally? No, but it just happens, man. I think I clicked Population Bomb into that slot because it looked like it was Armarouge showing, like, and I knew Armarouge didn't have Rocky Helmet. I was like, all right, this is safe. And it was a stupid ass Zoroark with Rocky Helmet. So shit like that can like, I think Zoroark directly led to both their successes this season, along with like Indeedee just being like amazing support. Like Swamp ran it the more typical way with supporting Armarouge. I think those are my least favorite combo in all of Pokemon, I think, at this point. I fucking hate those two mons together. They're beyond toxic. But your boy ran it a little different. Just overall, like it was more, its support role wasn't like directly synergized with anything. It just kind of did what it. I'm trying to word this correctly. Like what you expect to happen with Indeedee, it did, but coming into the season, you didn't really know what the synergy was, just because it didn't have anything that you'd normally see it with on ladder or anything. Like it supported Toxtricity and Rabska and stuff like that. It's like, I think it just comes down to your boy being such a good draft league coach. Like he preps well every week. I think one of my favorite preps that he did was like a hard tricker matchup and he ran Dragon Tail on Dragapult, which is risky because it's only 90% accurate, but like that's such a niche way that like I hadn't really thought about stopping Trick Room setup before. Like you sometimes run Taunt or Imprison or shit like that, or you just try and kill it, but Dragon Tail was such a good tech on Dragapult to stop Trick Room, stuff like that. And that's just stuff that your boy thinks about. Like I rate him very highly as a draft league coach. And it's not a surprise that back-to-back seasons.
Last season especially, too, because last season your boy went off. But this season, too, I mean, definitely rate him very, very highly. So,
like, he has transitioned very well into, like, whereas, like, Wex, who was, like, finishing top of the, like, table and even won a season in Sword and Shield, didn't really transition over the best into this. Your boy transitioned very nicely into Terastallization as well. So it's like really crazy to see like the dominance like remain. And I think Swamp won our last offseason. I don't remember if it had to do with Dynamax or anything. I imagine it did. I don't really remember what we ran, but like he continued right where he left off too, like winning offseason and now almost going undefeated. We could talk about the bottle job at the end. It really looked like he was folding. Like I remember watching it and be like, "Ain't no way! Like this just happened." Like, I'm pretty sure you needed him to win, right? Well, like you needed Quartz to like just for more security going into playoffs. You like really needed Swamp to win, right?
I believe so. I mean, that was just to lock it up, though.
Like you ended up locking it up because of Riolu, but if Swamp won, you would have felt even more comfortable. I think. But shout out to Quartz, dude. Like not all season. Like Quartz has some tough losses. He against me, he clicked Terastallization on both Pokemon in Game 3, and it ended up like canceling them both out, which would have been a big turn because I population bombed his Vivillon, which I think he had Terraghost. He sleep powdered his own Mon one week. Like I don't know how you do that, but he clicked the wrong target. And like sleep powdered his own Mon. So he had some tough losses, tough season, but he was able to week 9 upset Swamp, who I don't know how much he prepped, how much he was trying. But
I mean,
regardless,
Quartz's prep regardless was impactful. Oh my god, Ice Spinner Bronzor. That's
Bronzor got 2 kills. What are we doing out here? This is what happens in NBA. I think it was Bronzor Cryogonal. Both of his, like 2 of his C tiers. Oh, hold on. God damn it, Castle.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. My dog likes to bark at anyone that walks by. But if he goes nuts, I'll mute, and Justin will just have to talk. But he's sorry. But yeah, in the NDA, we have like someone like Quartz using his 2 C tiers to just take down our 8-0 first place coach. Like. Another Mon that could be argued to bump up to B tier is Cryogonal. I think Cryogonal had a great season. Underrated Mon. Underrated bulk, too. It's got like really good speed def. I mean, its HP and Fizz def let it down, but I think its speed and how Quartz used it can really show why it's a good Pokemon and why it maybe should be bumped up to B tier next season. But
maybe.
Well, I remember the Ice Spinner stuff.
Far, but
you don't think it's B tier?
I don't know.
I think it's got a case. But I don't remember what Quartz did game 1 to win. But I know game 2, the Trick Room and Ice Spinner next to Cryogonal was like really cool. I'd have to watch it, but I don't know if it was Dozo either. I think he used them individually again. Like it wasn't. I mean, Swamp does have the Dozo counter, which is the Clodsire. Unaware Clodsire with Water Absorb kind of walls it. Which he did bring.
Great to pick up for it than Dozo counter.
I feel like it was really necessary. Like as soon as Dozo got drafted, everyone was like, it was like. You had 2 rounds to like scroll the draft board and see if you had anything to counter it. Unless it was like you who had like you had Haze Murkrow. Like some people already had stuff, but like I was short of grab. I grabbed 2 Hazemons in C tier after that, I think. I was like, oh no. Because I don't think anyone really expected anyone to draft it, and then it just... You can finish second in kills, and of course, stopped the Swamp's undefeated record. So yeah, that happened. Swamp bottled, undefeated. You hate to see it. Do we have any more topics we want to discuss? There's 2 more. So we can talk about Garg first. I feel like Garg's another annoying Pokemon that was a theme across the season. Both coaches that ran Garg, Will and Riolu, finished with they get a bye in the playoffs. Despite my efforts to help Mal beat Will, Garg remained supreme. You played Will, right? Do you remember getting wrecked by Garg, or was it something else?
No, it was something else for Will. So I mean, it was just the fact that it was in the back. There was really nothing done with it. I positioned my King Gambit as well as I could because I knew he was Terra Fairy, and I was running low kick for Garg, so that way I could be like super effective against it, and it just wasn't.
Terra Fairy.
Yeah, that's what it came down to. So, it was just hard. It was hard to deal with. I mean, any Garg is hard to deal with. I mean, that's why we see Riolu and Will at second place in both of their divisions respectively. So it's just a hard mod to have to go up against, especially with terastallization and no open team sheets. It's hard to really prepare for it because you could go on with one plan and then you have to somehow counter it with another. So I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, but there are ways to beat it. We've seen it with like Final Gambit. We've seen it with Endeavor from like and Rock from Gummy. So there are ways to go around what Garg does. It's just can you do it, and are you going to be able to even get to the Garg? Like, because maybe it's in the back and you can't even get to the back. And the mon that you want to use against it, maybe you don't position it well enough. Maybe it's not at the right HP. Maybe if you're doing a focus sash Endeavor trick, it doesn't have it gets a little bit of chip damage or something. So I mean, there's all these different factors that go into it, and you kind of have to hope for a nearly flawless strategy in order to get rid of the Garg. But yeah, it's annoying. That's for sure. I mean, whether it's draft or whether it's on ladder or in tournaments, it's definitely not easy to deal with. That's for sure.
I know going into playoffs, I will be watching Gummy's replay. I mean, I don't have a Lycan Rock with Endeavor, but I'll be watching Gummy's replay against Riolu. Will lost to Swamp and Mac. I'll be watching those replays, see what they did to deal with the stupid Garg, because I know I struggled with it, and so did a lot of other coaches. Where did they finish in the kills, Garg? Well, where did that? Did it finish top 10? It did. Will's Garg finished with 19 kills, 18 sets played. He brought it every week. It's an annoying ass freaking. We saw Garg win a regional. It's been popping up ever since, and Will drafted it
for real with those and 12 sets played.
Will drafted it before it was cool, before it won a regional, and we all knew how annoying it was early. And it's been a theme all season. So annoying. I think if I win my first playoff week, I think I'm guaranteed to play a Garg in the next round. So it's not gonna be fun. I'll tell you that much. I think if I win, I'm guaranteed to play Riolu. So not looking like
fans right now. I'm guaranteed if things stay the way they are, I'm guaranteed to play a Garg first. I know a Garchomp, not Garg. I get to play Gummy first round. So. Oh boy, we shall see how that one goes. Hopefully the playoff experience does me well for that matchup. Still have to maybe start building. I don't know if Ryder's ever going to get back to anybody before the start of the playoffs actually begins.
I feel like I'm going to scrap my team against you. Because even if Ryder does come back magically...
There's no guarantee that he's going to win.
That, and if he's gonna have time to play, he has to play 3 games. He hasn't.
And you'll
found
probably
time
have to play them back to back to back. So
Yeah,
that's going to be difficult. And then have to win all 3 or win 2 of the 3. I mean,
yeah, I think it's a lost cause. So if that's a lost cause, you won't play Gummy. You will be playing the King Gambit mirror against Phoenix. So
that is true. Oh yeah, no, because if they don't get played, I'll be playing Phoenix.
yeah, the King
That's
Gambit
right.
mirror.
So I should probably
If Ryder were to make playoffs, me and Justin would play, which would not be fun. But
yeah, because there's really no scenario in where Ryder slips in between me and 12th place. There's no way he goes 12th. Because if he wins, he just has 2 points.
Yeah, if he tied your record, which he'd have to make playoffs, he'd have more points than you. So it's just like chalked from there.
I mean, if he got 3 and 4, 4 and 5, he'd have 14 points. So 4 and 5 at 14 points would put him probably at the top with 8th. Yeah, no, he'd be above Quartz there. Everybody else won. So that's if you won. So I'd either play you or I'd play Glasgow Gangars. So you shall see. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully he does play, and hopefully, he gets his opportunity to make play.
I hope he comes back and plays, but we'll see how it all unfolds. We kind of already talked about. We brought up the last topic I had here was Swap, our new coach saving the UVA Academy. But we covered that Ballhawk dropped. Swamp's friend Penny joined our server. Kept the same team because it was too late in the season, but changed the team name. We now have the Department of Moustice, which I think is kind of funny.
Did you see their nicknames as well?
No, I didn't.
You're like judge, jury, executioner. Yeah, law related.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, very nice touch.
They came in. They got a win. They saved the UVA division, which we talked about. I think for season 2 of NDA, the top division will be UVA for that reason.
OBX?
Whopper, what?
Oh god.
That's all I heard when you said
Whopper.
Junior bacon double. I forget how the fuck it goes. God damn it. At BK.
Have it your way.
They came in, saved the UVA division. The UVA division. Once I beat Wax in the cross division matches, it was 4-4. Came down to the final week, and I think Kaylee played pretty well. But the execution it took names, dude.
Penny almost threw. I mean, I didn't mention this in the server, but I'll touch on it a little bit now. And there is also another instance that I didn't touch on in the server.
Right.
Guys, if you bring the wrong you gotta make sure you check your team sheet. If you bring the wrong Pokemon and it goes out onto the field, that's an automatic FF. And I did manage to catch that. Penny brought it game 1
Bro.
of week 8.
I watched the match live and didn't even notice. I watched the whole thing and didn't even notice.
So Penny brought in DDF instead of bringing in DD, which is 2 different mons, 2 separate tiers, different stats, different moves. I mean, it's a completely different Pokemon. So for that reason, we had to forfeit game 1 of their match against Riolu, which doesn't affect the outcome of the entire match. So I didn't say anything about it. I had to make an announcement about it. And same thing with their match against Kaylee. It didn't affect the final result of the match because it wasn't brought in set 2 or 3. So therefore, those games are not forfeited. And because those are the games that they won, it will stand as called as a 2-1. Although unfortunate, I do want to take this time, if you're still listening at this point, to remind everybody to make sure you bring the teams that are on your team sheets to future matches. I know it was an honest mistake. It happens. We understand that. But just for the competitive integrity of the league, if we can just adhere to doing that as best as we can and continue doing that moving forward, it'd be greatly appreciated. So there's no way a call out or a reprimand or trying to embarrass somebody. I'm just trying to inform everybody that, this is something that we need to do. I mean, just to be clear, there was another situation here with I think it was Phoenix. Yeah, it was Phoenix and Gummy in week 3. I'm trying to pull up the note here. So game 3 against Gummy from Phoenix had to be forfeited because Phoenix brought Tinkaton instead of Tinkatuff, who was their C tier, Tinkaton being an A tier or B tier.
That's such a buff, dude.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're similar names. It happens. You can forget. It can, mess up. We understand that. But you had to forfeit the third set. And it's just, it is what it is. I mean, if you bring the wrong mon, hopefully, fingers crossed everything. So replay like 4 or 5 times because I got to record the kills for most of them. So I do catch what I can, but if we could just, adhere to the team sheets that we've, transacted and drafted upon, greatly appreciated. So that's all I got to say about that.
I think that's all we got to say for the rest of the podcast. I think we covered everything. I think it was a crazy but successful first season of Scarlet and Violet. And we will hopefully in the future have more frequent podcasts. And also in the future expect a postseason wrap up. I doubt we'll record again until the postseason ends. And then we'll have a postseason wrap up, and of course our NDA awards, which I always look forward to. But yeah, I think that's what we got coming up in the future, and that's how the league looks right now.
So just, again, stay tuned for, I know I made an announcement about this, but make sure you stay tuned for Sunday. That's when we'll be officializing the final standings, and that's when we'll release the playoff bracket. For as far as the bracket goes, everybody is going to be reseeded based on their final positions. So the lowest seed, it won't be just bracket play. It would be lowest seed plays the highest seed. It won't be just yeah. If you want to,
as an example, like I play as of now, I would play J-Ster. I am the highest remaining seed that didn't get a bye. J-Ster is the lowest seed in the playoffs. If J-Ster were to beat me, it wouldn't be him moving on. Like normally the how brackets work is you have a set like position on who you were to play next. But if I win, I play the lowest remaining of the byes. J-Ster would automatically, if he wins, because he's the lowest seed, would automatically play Swamp, who's the 1 seed in the first, in the next round of the playoffs. Like, there's no I guess technically his path is set because he's the lowest seed, but basically,
yeah, you kind of gave a really bad example.
The highest seed of the first round of the playoffs that didn't get a bye will play the lowest remaining seed, and the lowest remaining seed will play the highest. And the middle, I'm not good at words, but I hope that's.
I can explain this a little bit better. So, like you said, the lowest non-bye playoff team. So that being at this point, J-Ster.
If he beats me, if he were to beat me, yes.
Oh, I was gonna get there. If he were to beat Kevin, who is the highest remaining seed without a bye, so the 5 plays the 12. If J-Ster were to win, he would then, regardless of who he's supposed to play next, play the remaining highest seed in the tournament. This would be Swamp. He would have to play Swamp because Swamp has the highest amount of match wins, and he ousts your boy in set ratio, making Swamp the number 1 seed for this entire tournament. Throughout Swamp's entire run for the playoffs, he is going to be playing the lowest seeded player. That's how we're going to reseed it. That's how it's going to go. If you have any questions, make sure you bring it up with us. We'd be happy to answer anything any further. But basically, for another example, just to make it abundantly clear, if I were to play, and this is just based off what we're seeing on the dock right now, by the time we release the podcast, I should specify. If I were to play Gummy and I were to win, I would then, if Kevin beats J-Ster, who's 12th, he's under me. If J-Ster loses, I would then also have to play Swamp. because I am the lowest remaining seed. But if Jacer did win, I would then play your boy instead, who is the second highest seed.
Yep.
So that's how that's going to work. It's not going to be straight bracket play. It's going to be reseeding. So it gives more incentivization for the people who did well through the regular season to play someone who maybe didn't have as good of a regular season. Sort of as a little reward saying like, oh, you did so good in this. Here is your path to the final. It may be seen as a little bit easier, but that is how it goes. So that is that.
Well worded, because I was awful. That usually tends to happen. But yeah, I believe that covers everything. I'll sign off before Justin does the outro. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover. Season was fun, and good luck to everyone in the playoffs. We'll see you at the end of it all, where hopefully I will lift the trophy. Let's go Swoobats.
Oh boy. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, I just remind you that please keep an eye out for those that Sunday update that we're going to have, informing you guys on what's to come, what the seedings are, what the final standings are, and then we'll go from there. From then, every week after that will be one round of the playoffs, so we'll keep going like we did in the regular season until we get to the championship game. At that point, once we do crown a champion, like Kevin said, we will have like an end of season award ceremony, and we are going to go into more detail with another podcast going into how the next season is going to shake up, as well as off season, what we will do for that. So we'll have all that coming up and more, so just stay tuned. We'll be back with more information when it comes to that time. As for now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for playing if you did. We really appreciate you guys keeping this league active, keeping it fun, keeping it lighthearted, and keeping it entertaining for everybody else. With that being said, thank you guys so much, even to the people who didn't make the playoffs, for participating, for being there, for not giving up, for not quitting. I know it's easy for people to understand, okay, I won't be with most of these people next season. Let me just quit midway because I don't have a chance. But we do appreciate that you guys stuck it out through the rest of the season. And hopefully you guys stay around and you play the next season for the next, hopefully the next, I think we'll probably be playing VGC Series 3 at that point.
Hopefully.
By the time that rolls around. So we'll see what that entails. That should be another fun format for us to play in. But again, thank you guys so much for listening. That wraps
bigger
up
and better things
moving on. What?
I said the NDA will only have bigger and better things moving on, regardless of where everyone finished and where they played. So just look forward. Like you said, look forward.
Yep. All right. And with that being said, it's Gronk and Kev signing off. Wex already signed up earlier because he's a wuss, because he's simping for a girl that told him, hey, I need to go to the gym now. So
yeah, his story was half. He definitely had to go to the gym with his girl.
Yeah, he's definitely like whipped already, and it's not even fun. But anyway, that does it for us here for the NDA podcast, and hopefully this gets out before Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. See what Wex is able to cook up. I might have to start, making these podcasts myself and maybe doing the editing myself. No fucking chance, but maybe I will. But yeah, that wraps it up here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys at the end of the season. Take care. Peace.
Peace.